Hello. So happy to see you again. If you're new here, hello, welcome. So I'm just getting nice and comfy. I have a little story about creating gratitude prayers and the outcome, and I'm so excited because of it's my history, but I hope it's your history in your own way. Okay, mine. I did something, and I've got to, yeah, open up my drawer to get something very special. Of course, I never. There I go. I was going to say I never find anything right away, but I do. And sometimes I don't. So I have two essential oils here, my magic. Now, many years I have practiced and made up because I didn't take classes. I couldn't afford them for years. And when I could, I was so busy working and taking care of my kids, etc., that I didn't have time to take classes until 2003, when two friends of mine absolutely convinced me uh, of the importance of a new tool for me, which was real essential oils. And I knew not to put perfume on my body. I knew why. I had studied chemistry. I was well aware that the dangers of synthetics and alcohol to the brain. Where do you put perfume? Carotid arteries. No good. So if you need perfume and you really like it, spray it on your clothes, not on your hair, because guess what? It goes down to the root and into the skull, maybe, and pass it into the brain. So what I did eventually that was October of 2003. So December, I placed an order of two weird oils. I had been working on myself a very long time. And the funny part, many of you might identify with, I think of the spokes on the wheel of life, relationships. Well, I had been through 3 marriages. My third one stuck. We just got married. 34 years we're celebrating a couple of days ago. And it's a real marriage. I made it through. So crazy. And I was married to him, obviously, in 2003 also. But I kept seeing, I knew all the single oils. I studied them. I loved them. I used them for other purposes that I cannot talk about right here due to compliance issues. I can kind of play. There were two that I went, why did he name them that? So highest potential and abundance. And for some reason, I kept looking at them going, no, I'm embarrassed to even do that. And so backing up in 1965, right, my medical bill was $256,000. 11 months out of 24 in a hospital. Bed, not nurse, bed. I was almost more in the hospital bed than I was a nurse at that moment. So I had extensive damage that they later found out was congenital, causing, and then 2 massive injuries done to me, one by a patient and one by my first husband. So here I was, permanently disabled, always searching for the things. However, the finances, I never got out of debt. I got out of debt because of certain, over the years, compensation board had to pay for some of it. They didn't want to pay, took years, accumulated debt, yada, yada, yada. So I was always in debt because I wore a body brace and I raised kids and I had no money and I could barely put food on the table. And yes, I was a psychic who actually earned, but I had to pay everything. I was sole support for a while. And then my second husband finally got another job after a year of not, and the debt never left. So here I was in 2003, not used to affording my own life, barely affording it. And I tell you that for a purpose, not for you to go and do all of it, because I had all along done gratitude prayers. I wasn't nervous about the debt. I had grown accustomed to it. And I thought, pay as I go. I'll do whatever I can. I was used to that and I was okay with it. But I also knew there's something about the traumas I've been through that probably was interfering with my ability to have an easier time while working a lot and doing well for others. I need to do well for myself so that I can afford the kind of health care I wanted, not what I was told I could get on insurance or something. Because I was always into the holistic practices, but it was always out of pocket. Got it? Okay. But I use both. The doctor I go to is a friend and I love him and I pay him. But he's not covered by insurance, but he is somebody, not my insurance, that I think and respect because he knows both sides, holistic and medical, medications, etc. So anyhow, I ordered these two. Crazy. Highest potential. It's the first one I ever smelled. And I went, huh, goes right up to that little rice bran, not saying what it is. You got to go look it up. Anyhow, it's the size of a rice bran. Hint. Okay. So I took highest potential. And you can do this right along with me, even if you don't have an oil. I want you to imagine that you're going at your highest potential. Got it. Just 3, 1, 2, 3. Right. 1, 2, 3. I love that. And right over my third eye. Oh. That's a hint. And when I close my eyes, I always wonder what it looks like at its highest potential life, my life. But I don't spend a lot of time yet on that because I'm going to put on abundance. Now, abundance, I thought of, everyone's different on where you place anything. And I love mentoring and teaching that as a gift to people because it's done so much for me. Okay, so abundance, I put over my root chakra. That's base of spine. In case you didn't know, I'm busy putting on my root chakra. And then I took a little bit over my heart chakra. And it was all to the right 3 times, period. Done. And of course, I didn't do it right away because I'm talking. Okay, so then this was the first day. Thank you. Thank you for the abundance of energy that creation constantly creates for us. Thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for the infinite source of all needed for life. Thank you for all the lessons. Thank you for all the wonderful mentors. Thank you for my family. Thank you for all my furry friends and the trees and the birds. It's brilliant. This creation is not only a miracle to me, it is always amazing. Surprises, gorgeous, beautiful, wonderful. Every moment. Thank you for the opportunity to have an infinite source in my form, flowing through me into the world to help and pour in your wisdom, your intelligence, your love, your kindness, your compassion, your love of creation, your love of life, for you created all of it. You created all the ideas we can get. We are blessed constantly. I thank you for all of this, for the ability to have the abundance in all its forms, including the prosperity flowing through me for the world to share with everyone beautifully. Thank you. And that was it. So the next day, it took longer, and the next day, it took longer, and the next day, and I was thrilled. I didn't want to stop. Didn't want to stop. 7 days later, the phone rang. Hi, we are subcontractors for a new series for Core TV called Psychic Detectives. Okay, yeah. We hear that you work with law enforcement. Yes, I do. Do you have any detectives you think would be willing to talk with us? I said, oh, sure. You're certain? I said, yes, I am certain. You know them well. I said, they're my best friends. Yes, I know several of them very well. and we're still in touch over the years, but I will only talk about old cases. Adjudicated, safe. They said, yes, that's all we can do. I said, good. So I gave him the names. And I think, let's say it was a Wednesday. Friday, they call right back. Can you start next Monday? It's a 1-day filming. Okay. I wasn't offered any money. Zero. I did not ask for money. My instinct said, leave it alone. Don't ask. You don't know enough about the field yet to make claims. It's like buying a car. It took me a while to learn how to buy a car well, right? And get the best price. And so they came. We had a fun time filming. And my friends, the detectives, were with me. It was lovely. Then they interviewed each of us separately. And then they were gone. And I signed a little contract for the day talent with no payment. Didn't care if the guys got paid or not. Didn't ask. So that was that day, a phone call. 3-4 hours later, Nancy, this is Larry, in Toronto with the show ponies. Oh, hi, Larry. How are you doing? Well, I'm good. I have a partner in someplace in Virginia who has a lot of show ponies, and she's going to call you, and she needs you to fly down and work on her show ponies. And then I need you to fly up here and work on mine that I'm training for her. I hung up. This was January because I started late December, right? I kicked in the new year. And I went, really? I never have work in January. Suddenly, I'm doing a new production TV show set in motion. I have a call coming in, and it came right in about an hour later, and she booked it. Flights, everything. Turns out, wonderful human being, wonderful time. Oh my God. And ate the same way I did, organic. At the time, I went in and out of vegetarian or vegan, which I still do, in and out between the two. And and then flew up to where he is in Canada. And I was in shock. I sat there wondering, now what? Same day. Next morning, I realized I had no idea that this repaired on my not being entitled to the final spoke in the wheel of not having to wonder, do I have enough money to feed everybody? Do I have enough money to pay the next month's lease or mortgage? Because I leased a home before this. So rented, whatever. And so the next morning, my husband says, Nancy, you got a phone call you'll want to pick up. Okay. My cousin, 41 years before, and that's a different story. We were kids at the time, and we didn't have phone numbers. We weren't given them. At least I was never given them, nor was he. And all my cousins found me because, I don't know, they suddenly could see who I was somewhere. And they found me on social media. They had looked and looked and looked, trying to locate. And there, finally, we all got together, and we did get together. And I thought, 7th day, Court TV, show ponies, money also, but the ponies were amazing, amazing. And those are amazing stories. So we'll get to that another time. And then my relationships that were so broken by family many decades ago, never to repair, we repaired them. I sat there going, I have to find out how that's possible. So I'm going to tell you a funny thing. Well, I think I understand some of it. I studied so much chemistry. I've read so much on research papers, and I've seen so many miracles. I get that. But there's another part of me that goes, I don't quite know the answer, and that's okay. So I want you to suggest to yourself, language matters, with or without the essential oils. Your highest potential, you magnifying your own purpose, you lifting yourself up to the abundance of life itself, the energy. I don't care what state we are all in mentally and physically and emotionally challenged. Yeah, I am. I'm physically challenged. I was born with it. So, pardon me, but get on and think of it differently. And you and I will go coasting along in a very different way if we take what we think and notice the thoughts, notice the language, and work with them. So in closing, I'd like to just share with you, if you want essential oils, fine, I'm more than happy to help explain to you what real ones are about and what to watch out for, what to look for. And give you one little piece that I've only found one company that allows you appointments to, because of lockdown had been, so farming practices a little bit, but we can go to any farm in this one company, and we have the company has farms all over the planet, literally, and it's the only one that does. And I can go see distillation. I've had first distillation oils up in northern Canada, in a place called Fort Nelson. And it's just an amazing experience to see the laboratory and learn the very first collection. Fascinating. I find it all fascinating. And it's also about frequency and resonance. So in closing, I invite you, if you're interested, just email me at nancy@nancywillenweber.com, or look on my website about oils. Sessions on that are free. I don't charge for knowing that at all. And the latest workshop I'm doing, if you're listening, is on becoming a soul whisperer. Right now, I'm finishing on becoming a medical intuitive. Every quarter, I will have a new one, and then we always have follow-ups for those who have joined if they want. Okay, that's it. Have a great day, everybody. And thanks for joining. And if you can, hit the subscribe. It helps, and it helps pass the word along. Thank you.